You ever notice how some people hit a certain age and all that old pain they've been hiding starts showing up in their face, their voice, their energy? That's what happens when you never deal with what broke you. See, pain don't disappear just because time passes, it waits. It sits right there in your soul, quiet, until one day it starts talking louder than you can handle. A lot of women spend years stacking regret like it's money. They think if they stay busy, stay pretty, stay in control, the pain gonna fade. But all they really do is bury it deeper. They numb it with work, with attention, with things that make them feel wanted for a minute, but never hold for real. You can't outdress what's haunting you. You can't out-talk the voice that's telling you you should have loved better, you should have listened, you should have healed. And that voice gets louder the older you get. See, when you're young, the world tell you got time. You can play games, chase validation, chase the feeling of being needed, but when you hit that point in life where silence gets real, where the house quiet and the phone don't ring like it used to, that's when regret moves in. It sits on your couch, eats your peace, and reminds you of every man you push away, every family moment you ruin trying to be right instead of real. That's unhealed pain, and it don't play fair. It makes you bitter, not better. It makes you attack the people that still care, because deep down you hate yourself for the ones that stop. You tell yourself, I don't need nobody, but you wake up every morning scrolling through memories that say otherwise. That's the thing about regret. It don't hit you all at once. It creeps in. It shows up when you see another woman living the life you could have had if you had just been softer, wiser, more grateful. It hits when your kids don't call as much because they tired of the drama. It hits when that man you used to clown finally finds peace without you. Now suddenly every song sounds like a lesson you ignore it. You can't run from it. You can't drink it away, post it away, pray it away without doing the real work. That work is facing the mirror and asking, what did I do to me? Not what they did. What did I do? What energy did I allow? What love did I block? And healing and pretending. That's what a lot of people do. Pretend they're fine, pretend they're strong, pretend the past don't matter. But that front gets heavy. And when it finally cracks, all that pain comes spilling out in the worst ways, yelling, blaming, breaking things, breaking people. You start destroying the good in front of you because it reminds you of the good you lost. You don't trust love because you think it's just another setup for pain. You sabotage peace because chaos feels familiar. And that's how cycles keep spinning, generation after generation of unhealed hearts trying to build homes with broken bricks. But here's the truth. Regret can be your enemy or your teacher. You can let it drown you or you can let it wake you up. That's what real growth is. Looking at what hurts you and saying, I see you, but you don't own me no more. You ain't crazy. You just tired of carrying everything you never said out loud. Too tired of pretending you healed when you're still bleeding inside. And that's okay, because healing don't start with perfection. It starts with honesty. The problem is too many people don't want to be honest about how much they're hurting. They rather blame everybody else and admit they broke their own peace. But until you take accountability for your part, regret gonna keep renting space in your head. And it charges high rent. It'll cost you joy, love, time, everything that matters. So yeah, pain don't disappear. It transforms either into wisdom or into poison. And the choice been yours the whole time. The question is when you gonna stop letting regret run your life and start letting healing rebuild it. Because peace ain't something you find, it's something you create once you stop lying to yourself. And once you do that, the world can't break you again. You can always tell when somebody lost touch with their real energy. It's written in how they move, how they talk, how they carry themselves. You see it in their eyes, that fire that used to feel soft, calm, and loving, now look cold, tired, and defensive. That's what happens when a woman trades her peace for pride. When she starts thinking being strong means being hard. See, there's a certain beauty that comes from peace. When a woman's in her natural energy, when she's gentle but grounded, confident but calm, everything around her grows. Her home feels safe, her man feels focused, her kids feel balanced. That kind of feminine peace is powerful. It's magnetic. But somewhere along the line, a lot of women started thinking that peace was weakness. They thought being nurturing meant being taken advantage of, so they put on armor. They start talking like soldiers, walking like competitors, loving like they preparing for war. Every conversation turned into a debate. Every moment of softness turned into a threat to their independence. But what they don't realize is that the very energy they fight against, that softness, that patience, that grace, that's the same thing that used to make them powerful. That was the gift. Now, too many of them living in survival mode. They wake up ready to defend instead of ready to love. They see every man as an opponent, every disagreement as disrespect, every offer of help as control. That's not strength. That's exhaustion dressed as empowerment. They think they're winning because they loud, but the real ones can see they're just tired. You can't keep peace when you're at war with yourself. When your spirit fighting your ego every day, you'll never feel calm. You'll chase success, attention, validation. But inside, you'll always feel heavy. And that's why so many homes fall apart. You can't build love when your energy masculine 24/7. You can't receive when you're too busy proving. A real woman don't lose her power when she chooses peace. She multiplies it. Because peace ain't passive. It's discipline. It's knowing you could destroy something, but choosing to build instead. It's understanding you don't got to match nobody's chaos to stay in control. You don't need to raise your voice when your presence is already loud enough. But that peace takes maturity. It takes knowing the difference between boundaries and bitterness. Too many confuse independence with isolation. They say, I don't need no man, and think that's freedom. But deep down, what they really saying is, I'm scared to trust again. They build walls so high that love can't even climb them. And then they sit inside wondering why they're lonely. That's what happens when you lose femininity. Not the makeup, not the dress, not the nails. I'm talking about the essence. That energy that brings calm in chaos, warmth in cold moments, and love in a world full of noise. When that's gone, peace gone with it. And when peace gone, everything around starts shaking: relationships, friendships, even self-worth. It's crazy how the same woman who used to smile with her soul now move like she fighting invisible battles. Every time she talks, it sounds like she defending her pain. Every time someone tries to love her, she push them away just to feel safe. But peace don't live in defense. Peace lives in surrender. You don't gotta be soft for nobody else. You do it for yourself. You do it because you're tired of carrying anger that don't serve you. You do it because your power ain't in being cold, it's in being balanced. When you calm, you clearer. When you soft, you stronger. You see things for what they are, not through the filter of fear. People think femininity is just about looks. No, it's about energy. It's about being centered. It's about understanding that your softness don't make you weak, it make you rare. Anybody can argue. Anybody can clap back, but not everybody can stay composed, stay kind, stay grounded when the world trying to pull them out of character. That's real power, and that's what's missing today: peace. Too many trying to prove they don't need love instead of learning how to keep it. Too many trying to lead with ego instead of grace. Too many talking about vibes while ignoring the chaos they carry, but it ain't too late to get it back. You can always come home to yourself. You can always drop the armor. You can always say, I'm done fighting, I want peace again. It don't make you less strong. It make you human. Once you find that peace again, you stop moving with tension. You stop responding to everything like it's a threat. You start attracting better people, better moments, better energy. Because peace don't chase, it attracts. And when a woman finds that balance again, she don't gotta say much. The world can feel it in her silence. It's wild how life got this way of humbling you when you start believing you bigger than the truth. You hit a certain age, 40 plus, and everything you used to run from start catching up. The mirror don't lie, time don't lie, energy don't lie. You can't filter real life. That's when the ego starts shaking. All them years of pretending, competing, trying to be seen. Now the spotlight dim and it's just you and your reality. See, a lot of people build their identity on being wanted. They feed off attention, off validation, off people saying you still got it. But what happens when the crowd quiet? When the lights slow down, when the eyes that used to chase you now look past you, that's when the ego start panicking. It don't know how to live without noise. It don't know how to be still. Some women hit that stage and can't accept that peace is the new power. They think slowing down means losing value. They still chasing the same kind of thrill they chased in their 20s. Still arguing to prove they right. Still needing to win every conversation. But all that fighting comes from fear. Fear of fading, fear of being forgotten, fear of not mattering anymore. And fear always disguises itself as pride. They start calling it self-love, but it's really ego love, the kind that only exists when somebody's watching. You start seeing people talk more about independence than healing, more about control than connection. But truth is, real independence comes from balance, not rebellion. You don't need to fight everything to show you strong. You don't need to outshine others to prove you relevant. When ego runs the show, love can't breathe. Relationships turn into power struggles. Every disagreement turns into disrespect. Every bit of advice sounds like judgment. You stop hearing people and start defending your image. You'd rather be right than be real. That's the midlife ego shift, when survival mode get confused with self-respect. See, the ego hates reflection. It hates accountability. It'll tell you everyone changed except you. It'll make you rewrite the story so you're always the hero, never the lesson. But life got a way of showing you, if you don't check your ego, it'll check you. You start losing people not because they fake, but because you stop being teachable. And it's deeper than just age, it's spiritual. When life slowed down, your spirit started asking for purpose. But the ego want applause. The spirit want peace. The ego want power. The spirit whisper, let go. The ego scream, hold on. And most people listen to the louder voice. That's why they keep chasing what's already gone, the old attention, the old version of themselves, the old control. But you can't outrun evolution. You're supposed to grow into grace. You're supposed to trade pride for wisdom, not for drama. You're supposed to lead with understanding, not attitude. But when you never learn how to love yourself past the surface, you end up addicted to validation. And when that supply dry up, you start spiraling. You start breaking things that were built with love, all to feed an ego that's starving for relevance. That's when the mask crack, the laughter sound forced, the confidence look heavy, the peace feel fake. You can't fake peace. The world can see when you hurting. You can wear luxury, take trips, post smiles, but the energy don't lie. The ego can't hide emptiness forever. The real ones figure it out though. They learn to surrender. They learn that losing control don't mean losing value. They realize they don't gotta fight aging. They can evolve with it. They start letting go of needing to be seen and start focusing on being felt. That's where the power shift happens, when you stop trying to prove and start trying to grow. Life gonna test that. It gonna strip you of everything fake just to see if you still know who you are. Without it, and if your confidence was built on outside validation, it's gonna hurt. But if you got inner peace, you'll understand. The world can't take what it didn't give. So yeah, the midlife ego shift is real. It's that moment where you gotta decide if you're gonna keep running from humility or walk into wisdom. You either stay stuck in the old story or write a new one. You either keep fighting time or start flowing with it. At the end of the day, your ego only loud when your soul quiet. Once you find peace within, the ego finally shut up. And when that happens, that's when real growth begins. Families don't fall apart overnight. It's slow, it's quiet, it's a collection of small moments that pile up till love can't breathe anymore. You wake up one day and the people who used to laugh together now move like strangers in the same house. The energy heavy, the silence loud, and nobody want to say what everybody already feels, that the bond been dying for years. It started with pride. Somebody stopped listening. Somebody stopped showing up, and instead of healing, they start keeping score. You hurt me, I hurt you. You forget me, I forget you, and before long, everybody fighting for a point that don't even matter. That's the problem. Too many homes built on ego, not empathy. Too many people trying to win arguments instead of protecting love. When a woman loses peace and a man loses patience, the house becomes a battlefield. Kids start feeling the tension before they understand the words. Dinner turns into silence, affection turns into avoidance, and the saddest part, nobody wants to be the first to apologize. Because pride got everybody thinking that saying I'm sorry means you weak, but it don't. It means you care more about the bond than the bruises. A lot of families break because people stop communicating. They start assuming. They start shutting down instead of opening up. The woman starts moving off emotion, the man off frustration. Both feel unheard, both feel unappreciated, and both start pulling away, slowly but consistently. Then one day someone says, I'm done. But truth is, they've been gone a long time before they packed their bags. See, a family ain't just blood, it's energy, it's trust, loyalty, respect. And when that foundation cracks, everything else starts shaking. The smiles become fake, the I love you sound rehearsed. People start living together but not with each other. It's like emotional homelessness inside your own home. And it's crazy because most of the time, the fallout could have been avoided. All it takes is one real conversation, one moment of honesty, one act of humility. But when ego run in the house, there's no room for truth. Everyone just want to be right. Everyone want to feel justified. Nobody want to be vulnerable. That's where the cycle starts, generation to generation. Kids grow up watching their parents fight, not realizing that energy follows them into their own relationship later. They start believing love always comes with chaos. They start confusing control with care, silence with peace. And the same patterns keep repeating because nobody took the time to heal, to break the curse. Family fallout don't just break homes, it breaks spirits. You start doubting love itself. You start questioning your worth. You start thinking maybe love just ain't real. But that's the pain talking, not the truth. The truth is love real, it just can't survive where pride lives. A real family ain't perfect. They argue, they clash, they disagree, but they come back together. They know how to fix what's broken instead of walking away from it. But nowadays, people give up too fast. They rather start over than start healing. They rather replace than repair. And that's why so many homes crumble. No one's willing to fight for peace anymore. Sometimes a woman think she proving a point by leaving. Sometimes a man think he's showing strength by staying distant. But both losing, both hurting, both forgetting that the real win is unity. You can't build an empire if your foundation weak. You can't raise strong kids in a home full of resentment. And when it all finally breaks, when the house empty and the love gone, that's when the regret hit. That's when people start saying, I should have listened. I should have tried harder. I should have forgiven. But by then, the silence too deep, the damage too old. That's why you got to check your pride while there's still something left to save. Family's supposed to be a safe place, not your war zone. It's supposed to be where you rest, not where you fight. But that kind of peace only exists when both sides choose it, not one, both. You can't control what someone else does, but you can control how you respond. You can stop adding fire to the smoke. You can be the one who says, let's fix this. That's strength. That's real maturity. That's legacy. Because when the money gone, when the looks fade, when the crowd disappear, all you really got is family. And if you don't protect that, you end up rich in regrets and poor in love. So stop letting ego be louder than love. Stop letting pride talk you out of peace. Start healing before you lose the people who loved you most. Because once family fallout happens, you don't just lose them, you lose a piece of yourself too. Accountability, that's the part most people run from. Everybody want to talk about healing, leveling up, doing better, but nobody want to face the fact that growth don't start until you admit you the problem too. It's easy to point fingers, easy to tell stories that make you look like the victim. But the real ones, the ones who evolve for real, they look in the mirror and say, nah, this one's on me. That's the hardest thing to do, to own your part, to stop blaming what they did and start asking why you allowed it. That's when the shift happens. That's when you start understanding that pain wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to teach you. But you can't learn the lesson if you're too busy playing innocent. See, accountability ain't about guilt. It's about awareness. It's about saying, I made choices that hurt me. I ignored red flags. I held on to people I should have let go. I acted out of fear, out of pride, out of ego. That's where real growth starts, in the honesty, because you can't heal what you keep lying about. People always talk about wanting peace, but peace only comes after truth. You can't be free if you're still running from your reflection. You can't build love if you're still blaming everyone for why you failed last time. At some point, you got to stand still and own your scars. And the crazy thing is, once you start doing that, life start opening up. You start feeling lighter. You start needing to explain yourself. You stop trying to prove you right. You stop holding on to anger just to feel powerful. You start realizing that forgiveness ain't for them, it's for you. It's the key that unlocks your peace. But too many people think accountability is weakness. They think saying, I was wrong makes them look small. Nah, it makes you real. It takes strength to face your mistakes. It takes power to admit you fell short. That's growth. That's how you build character that lasts longer than looks, longer than money, longer than clout. But growth don't happen in comfort. It happens in silence, in those lonely nights where you can't sleep because your conscience talking to you. When you replay the times you could have done better. When you realize the people you lost weren't all toxic. Some of them just got tired of your pride. That's when it hit different. That's when growth starts feeling like pain, because it is pain. It's you shedding the version of yourself that survived off denial. You can't grow if you're still defending the person you were supposed to outgrow. That's why you see people stuck in the same cycles, different faces, same outcomes. They don't evolve, they just relocate their pain. They think new people, new places, new money gonna change their reality. But if you don't change your mindset, you're just gonna bring the same storm to a new season. Growth requires stillness. It requires humility. It's sitting with your mistakes and asking, what did this teach me? Instead of, why did this happen to me? It's realizing every situation was showing you something about yourself, your patience, your boundaries, your self-worth. Once you see that, you start repeating lessons. You stop chasing people who trigger your old wounds. You start protecting your peace instead of proving your point. That's when life start rewarding you different. You attract better energy. You attract real love. You attract opportunities that match your healed self. Because the universe don't give blessings to people who ain't ready to carry them right. You got to earn it through growth, through self-awareness, through discipline. And yeah, it's lonely sometimes. Growth separates you. It make people say you changed and you did. You supposed to. You staying the same after pain ain't strength. It's stagnation. You're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to outgrow old environments, old mindsets, old versions of yourself. That's not betrayal. That's alignment. So when you hear that inner voice say, you can do better, don't ignore it. That's your higher self talking. That's your reminder that you're not done yet. That's your cue to stop running from accountability and start embracing growth. At the end of the day, life gonna test you until you learn the lesson. You can keep repeating cycles or you can break them. You can keep blaming everybody else or you can take control of your story. The power always been yours. You just had to stop lying to yourself long enough to see it. Growth ain't about being perfect. It's about being aware. It's about saying, I'm not who I used to be, but I'm not yet who I'm becoming. It's a process. It's a marathon. And the ones who win that race ain't the ones who never fell. It's the ones who got up, looked in the mirror and said, I take full responsibility for my life. And now I'm growing from it.